Hello everyone and welcome to another random bits and pieces segment of my brain. Today we're going to go ahead and continue on our Brigandine playthrough. So in the last episode I tried to invade Asten and was not successful, but I did take out a few of their really strong units, so that should make it easier in the future. As usual, prior to starting the recording here, I rolled my random attack teams, so we're gonna go ahead and get situated here. So up here, it's going to stay very similar. Actually, in both places, it's going to almost stay identical. So in here, this is not gonna be the attack team, which means that I am going to be attacking in Asten yet again. People over there are about to revolt or something. So over here, the defense team is going to be Leonis, Sophia, and Langborg is going to be coming over here, and basically Raisin is going to go down, and that's going to be the two changes. So Sophia is kind of new for the defense team. I'm going to move around some of the units here, so that since Philo is going to be going out on quest, she doesn't really need her units right now. No, that's not gonna work. That's pretty much it. Alright. Alright, so let's go ahead and send her and him on quest. And we're gonna go ahead and move Raisin because he's going over here. And then, as I mentioned, Langborg is getting moved around, so he's going to be coming up here trying to help defend this castle over there. Now over here I did lose a few units. If we look here, Asmith and Paternus definitely could use a little more units here, so we're gonna go ahead and see. I probably don't have a whole lot of mana because I only have the starting cities or the starting castles. So let's see what I can do. Oh, that's not bad. Can get one rock. And even though I'm not a big fan of golems, I'm gonna go ahead and get one. At least they're useful as meat shields, even though they usually can't land a hit. So let's go ahead and okay, then the golem is going to be coming over here. Yeah, Paternus has a lot of units, but a lot of them are kind of soft. So, of course, I have the Phoenix, which is pretty strong. Alright, so I have set everybody to move where they're supposed to go. So I'm going, as usual, I'm going to save, just in case I made a mistake. Now, because I move troops around, I'm not going to be able to attack this turn, so we're going to go ahead and see if I do get attacked. Yeah, I'm not all that strong up here, so it's possible that Humber decides to attack me finally. Yeah, they still have the exact same troops that they've had there since the beginning. With those Hydras, if they do decide to attack it, it's gonna be a tough fight. Not impossible, but kind of tough. I might have to focus on the leaders. What about here? Alright, so no Bahamut, no Gigantes, that's all gone. Lots of troops, but, you know, only a few that are pretty strong, so I don't know what they're gonna do there. It's also possible that they go and attack somebody else. I look okay there. Not too intimidating, at least not yet. So let's go ahead and see what happens. Iscalio invades over there. Ooh. So Carolina was able to defend. Oh, that might shake things up over there. Oh, good. So they did attack, but they didn't attack me, so they might be a little easier to invade for me on the next turn. So I have people coming back from quests, as usual. Hopefully we get something good. So Kilof quest. A roving tinker is walking down the same road as Kilof. The two share cheery conversation until their paths need to part. Sad, we each must travel our road, but I've enjoyed your company. Here is a gift to remember me. The tinker hands an ancient scroll to Kilof. I was going to sell it, but I've enjoyed our time more than gold. Take care, my friend. Kilof shakes the tinker's hand and they go their separate ways. Alright, so the Ancient Scroll is an item you can equip. It's mostly for casters, so I might give it to Leonis or maybe Chantal. I'll go ahead and see who gets equipped with it. Isfa's quest. Isfas finds a dilapidated hut. Inside, an old man labors at a grinding wheel. Good night, would you help an old man with this chore? Eager to help, Isfas takes the grinder from the old man and begins to work. After sharpening every tool in the hut, Isfas is ready to be done. But strangely, his hand will not let go of the crank. I am sorry, the wheel is cursed. You cannot let go unless someone willingly takes it. I have been stuck for 20 years. As the old man joyfully leaves, the knight's arm involuntarily begins to grind. Day 1. Isfas struggles to stop his hand. Day 2. Isfas struggles to drop the wheel and swears to be more careful when helping old man. Day 3. Isfas wonders if his country will survive without his help and swears to never help another old man. Day 4. Isfas begins to cry, thinking of all the things he will never do. Isfas curses the old coot. Day 5. Isfas begins to lose hope and almost feels sorry for the old man, stuck for 20 years. Day 6. Isfas surrenders to his fate. Would he commit the same cowardly act as the old man if given the chance? Day 7. Crack. The grinding wheel split. Is the curse somehow broken? Isfas slowly opens his blistered fingers and hobbles out the door. A gentle breeze soothes his aching body as he heads for home. Isfas has grown stronger, strength +3, which is a decent stat for Isfas to get. Isfas is a monk, so he's kind of an hybrid physical attack and healer, so definitely gonna help. He's a pretty good monk. Charlene quest. As Charlene enters a village, the Elder approaches and fervently pleads for help. A ferocious Gigantes has settled in the forest near our village. We killed one of those. Please, noble knight, save us from this beast. Yeah, they hit pretty hard. Bravely, Charlene heads into the forest, determined to tame this fiendish Gigantes. The forest is dark and eerily silent. Suddenly, Charlene senses something behind. It is the frightful Gigantes. If I move, it will attack. I must break its will. The Gigantes' crazed eyes pierce directly into Charlene, and Charlene's eyes glare defiantly back. Time passes in silence, and neither move a hair through the night. As the sun begins to rise, the Gigantes twitches, and with a whimper of defeat, it bows in submission. Charlene has saved the village and dominated the deadly Gigantes. Gigantes follows. So this is pretty cool. So basically I just gained a free unit, and it's a level 10 promoted giant Gigantes, so that's really going to help. Actually, more often than not, the monster in that scenario escapes and you don't get it, so I'm pretty thrilled about that. Definitely a good thing to happen. Chantal quest. Chantal stumbles across the ruins of an ancient castle. As it is getting late, Chantal decides to sleep inside. In the night, Chantal awakes to voices. Carefully, he follows the sound to a nearby room. Inside, a group of ghostly knights are arguing over something on the table. Each apparition claims the item for himself. When their quarrel comes to blows, Chantal chuckles at the ludicrous spectacle. Instantly, the ghost knights focus on Chantal. Hello? The quarreling ghosts unite in anger against Chantal. Chantal tries to flee, but is quickly surrounded. Just as the ghosts start to strike, the sun rises and they grudgingly disperse in the light. Left behind on the table under a layer of dust is the ruby gloves. Chantal takes the ruby gloves. Alright, so a lot of good things happen in those quests, definitely. Pretty happy with all of the results, actually. Alright, let's go ahead and alright. Well, let's give the Gigantes to Kila for now. I can't really give it to anybody else. Feels like a waste though, because Kilaf is about to go back on quest, but eventually it's gonna be useful. Unless need to drop it 6. Yeah, I don't think it's happening. Yeah, I really would like for it to be in there, but I'm gonna have to leave him with Killa for now. So I did get the ancient scroll, so let's see here. Intelligence plus 6 definitely would help Leonis, so I'm going to give it to her for now. So that's going to increase my damage with her spells. She has Holy Word. That spell the base of that spell doesn't deal all that much damage, so boosting my intelligence as much as I can is gonna help with that. And the Ruby Gloves increases defense and MP and give red resist +1. Yeah, not really useful for her. It's actually going to be probably the best for a guy like Paternus. Because he has a blue dot for his element, so he has 2 whites and 1 blue, meaning that he's a little bit more susceptible to red, so giving him that is going to help. That's also going to give him more MP to cast Holy Word and increase his defense, because he's also a decent attacker, so I think that makes the most sense to give it to him, at least for now. Alright, so I'm gonna send all of my good people back on quest. Gonna save again. I really should try to make room for that Gigantes. Oh, 1 point too much. There you go. Really changed the layout of that particular unit, but when you get a free level 10 unit, you probably should try and use it. So let's do that. That particular unit was very white, and I really don't mean that in a racist way, but most of my units were of white elements, so mixing it up a little bit sometimes is a good thing. Alright, let's save back, made some changes, then we're gonna go ahead and attack Asten yet again. And maybe we're gonna be successful this time. Iscalio has kind of spread out and everything, they have to defend more territory, so yeah, I haven't really moved things around here. They're keeping exactly the same people. It's rare that you see that. Usually the computer mixes things around a little bit, but he's just really keeping things there. Okay, so that's a lot more manageable. So we have Dreist, Lucia, and Yura. So again, I have to attack, so we're gonna go ahead and see what happens with that. Alright, Carlian invades over there, and went with pretty much their 3 best knights, so that's a victory, and I'm attacking there, so Iscalio might get into trouble here. Let's go like this. May God in heaven watch over us all. Cuckoo, have you met Mr. Sky? So we already saw that dialogue, but they have 2 new knights we haven't seen, so we're gonna take a quick look at them first. So first we have Lucia. One of the few sensible knights in Iscalio's court of royal loonies, she used to have a bright, carefree personality, but became withdrawn after an incident a few years ago. So she's 20 years old. She starts a little low. If you play as Iscalio, she becomes a pretty good archer, so she's worth leveling up if you're playing as them. Then we have Yura, the cleric, level 1. Pure and honest, but naive enough to fully trust the Mad King, she waits on him hand and foot, acting more like a servant than a knight. She is so innocent, one must worry for her future. Alright, so she's actually a pretty good cleric too, but she starts solo. If you play as Iscalio, you have to, you know, feed her kills and everything to level her up. But she becomes pretty strong, but she's a time investment. Alright. Let's start charging in. Alright, so Raisin doesn't have any like really strong unit, so I'm gonna have to be careful with his unit there. I do have a couple of centaurs with him, so I'm gonna be able to attack from a distance, and also with the Jinn, so we're gonna try and use that to our advantage there. Definitely seems like I can win a lot better when there's not a Gigantes and Bahamut in there, because I already killed them. Of course, what's awesome is if you can kill Dreist and capture them, that's even better, but yeah, killing them works too. Alright, so Asmith has pretty strong attackers. He has a pretty good unit there, even though giants miss a lot. Okay, so what of a... So Dreist has some monsters that are higher than level 1, but the other two knights have level 1 monsters. So I'm gonna try to focus on killing as much stuff as I can. That should force them to retreat. Of course, if I have an opening for a leader, I'm going to go for it, because sometimes you can capture their monsters, and that's always nice. I wonder if they're gonna start charging me now that I'm getting closer. I usually don't like having centaurs on the front line, but Raisin really doesn't have much of anything. Oh, that scorpion's name is Poignard, which is French for dagger, which I guess kind of makes sense because it's going to stab with its tail. Alright, let's see what Lucia does here. Alright. 53% chance to it. Nice. Okay, so he's kind of spreading out. What that does is that really it limits my ability to charge, because monsters that get in the way... Oh, although I just paralyzed this wyvern, so he's not preventing me from doing anything anymore. Oh boy, okay. If you want to. Suit yourself. So he... Excuse me. He basically just charged with his archer. So... there's that. He's not paralyzed anymore already, so with his wyvern, so he is again blocking my path. Alright, casting Harden on the cleric, I guess, so she doesn't die as fast. I'm just gonna charge in with Paternus and attack her. Paternus is a pretty decent fighter, at least for the start of the game. Then he gets outshined by other units, but like Kilov becomes pretty strong, and Isphus becomes pretty strong too. Even Raisin becomes pretty strong as a unit to attack, but he doesn't have the rune power to make it all that worth it to keep him around. But since I play randomly, all of that is moot because I have to play with whoever I get, so... %92 chance, that's decent. Let's attack her with one of my rocks here. $87, $85. I'm gonna go with the 87% chance. There you go. 124. Now gonna get the kill with Tassimut. As much as possible, that's kind of what you want to try to do, is give the kills for... Knights are the units that provide the most XP, so you want to usually try to get the kill with your own Knights, because they are... Knights are also the units that take the most XP to level up. So you want to try to get the kill with them as much as possible. That's what I thought I did. She had 225 before the rock attack. I didn't think that it would kill her straight. That's why I quote-unquote wasted an attack. It's always like this for me. Well, don't charge in like that as an archer and you're not gonna get killed. Alright, so decent little level. +7 rune power is really good. And I captured a giant and a wyvern. Now the bad thing about it is that they remain in the way and prevent me from like charging in, so... Oh, nice. %88. That giant is starting to have a dent in him. Oh, level up. Yeah, that's alright. Some agility would have been great, but love the strength. I'm not going to attack the wyvern. I'm really gonna try to just keep him if I can. If I win. I do like wyverns. They're the unit that at level 20 becomes a Badmut. As we saw, they get pretty strong and they can evade a lot because they have a lot of agility, so alright. Not sure what he's gonna do here. Going for my scorpion. And retreating. Attacking my centaur. Awesome. Thanks for the free XP. Even if it's not going to be all that much, I'll take it. Taking my centaur again. Crit. Golems are terrible to attack. You have to cast Hollow on them so that they can actually land a hit with any reliability, and it doesn't get much better as you promote them either, so... Yeah, I figured you would do that to them. So rocks have that little ability called Foul Cry, where it attacks everything in that little area of effect, even your own units, and it has a chance to daze monsters. Alright, so Iscalio lost 2 castles in this one turn, so definitely not a good turn for them. When you the challenge when you play as Iscalio is that you have very few knights to protect your territory. So you have to gain some in like quests and everything. Otherwise you cannot spread very much. Oh, nice level. 11 HP is good. When you start the game, you get that a lot of level ups like that, because it doesn't take all that much XP to level up, so 200 XP per unit. Some of the cheapest units level up a couple times from them. Alright, so I got a giant and I got a wyvern, so not too shabby. And that's gonna be that, I believe. Yes, it is. Alright, so I have people coming back from quests again. Isphus quest. Isphus finds a hidden cave. His torch cannot pierce its darkness. Cautiously he enters. The cave is deep and it seems others have been here before. In the darkness something brushes his hand and Isphus extends the torch to see what it was. Suddenly, The floor opens beneath his fist. He has fallen into a trap. Luckily, his fist survives and will recover with time, so I cannot use him for a month. He's injured. Philo quest. Philo comes to a lake. As she stands on the shore, an empty boat drifts forward and beaches at her feet. Feeling the hand of fate, Philo gets inside. Eerily, the boat begins to drift toward an island in the lake. The island is filled with exotic flowers and birds. Near the island's middle, Philo finds a pool of still water. Taken by the pool's beauty, Philo floats a flower in the water. Suddenly, a pale maiden forms in the water's reflection. The reflection gives a gentle kiss to the flower and it changes into a love potion. With a smile, the maiden fades away. Philo takes the love potion. Baleen quest. Baleen walks by a theater. People inside are yelling. Something must be wrong. What? You're firing me? Come on, Cortina, I can't let a Rune Knight dance on stage. It would be disrespectful with people leering at you. A Rune Knight. I'm a dancer, not a knight. Watch this. I twirl perfectly and look how high I can raise my leg. You'd be a fool to let a dancer like me go. Dance is my life. Let me on stage and you'll see. Please, please. Those tears won't work on me. The audience would feel awkward with a Rune Knight bouncing around on stage. Now get out of here. Let me go. Pervert. Who'd want to work in a dive like this anyway? When I make it big, you'll be begging me to dance here. Mark my words. Are you okay? Baleen offers a crying girl and a handkerchief. Huh? Oh, thanks, but I was just acting. Oh? Oh, did you believe me? A dancer has to practice acting too, you know? I guess you heard I'm a dancer, but apparently I have this rune power thingy. I tried to keep it a secret, but it leaked out. Now everyone calls me Miss Cortina. It's kinda creepy. I'm still the same person, but they won't let me dance. Now I don't even have a place to stay tonight. Miss Cortina, you could be a knight for my country. Oh, are you a knight? I guess you are dressed like one. Baleen tries to persuade Cortina to join and fight for peace. Oh, well, but it's so sudden. A knight? This war does make it hard to get a gig, and I've got nowhere else to go. I've decided I'll do it. If I help end this war, dancing gigs are bound to pick up. Besides, the dancer who saved Forsina has a nice ring to it, don't you think? But when the war is over, I can go back to dancing, right? I mean, I'll do my best as a knight, but dancing is my dream. I'll be the most famous dancer in Forsina. Cortina joins. That's awesome. I very rarely get her. Usually it's always another country who does. So we have a new knight, and we get Cortina. So we're going to go ahead and look at her real quick. So Cortina is an enchantress, which is a caster. She's a magician. She starts at level 1, so she starts really low, but she gets really strong, and she gets a lot of rune power for monsters, so she's a pretty good unit to get. So she's 15. Lead dancer for a famous troupe of traveling performers, or so the senator wishes. She was raised with an open mind and is outgoing and non-judgmental. She dances when happy, hoping to share her joy with others. So definitely happy about that pickup. And we also got this love potion, which turns a succubus into a Lilith. So in this game you have some items that you can use on monsters to kind of give them special promotions. So the love potion is one of them. So if I if I get a demon and that I promote them all the way to succubus, I can turn them into Lilith, which is even more lethal type of monster. So we don't have one right now, so we're gonna hold on to that, obviously, but we're gonna make good use of that for sure. Alright, and then down here we have all of that. So we're gonna go ahead and call that a video. We did pretty good this time. We recaptured Asten and we got a new knight who's going to become pretty good for us. As usual, I am going to roll the next attack teams prior to the next video. So, well, thank you guys for tuning in, and as usual, I'll see you next time whenever I roll this game again. So, keep in touch.